Alright guys, I'm gonna do the best I can to document our bus trip from Çanakkale to Burhaniye. We got our tickets at the... Sorry, it's a little noisy from the cars here. I don't know if that helps at all, but we got our tickets at the Pamukklale bus station, which is in the center. I'll get on the map and I'll show you guys where it's at. I was gonna add it earlier, but the internet was really bad, so it was really pixelated. But it was 55 Turkish lira a person, so 110 total, which came out to roughly $14 total USD for the two of us. And now we've just come to this bus stop that's actually across from this fish canning factory that's in the neighborhood we were staying. So instead of having to go back to the main hub in the middle of the city, we learned that we can just catch it from this particular stop near this canning factory. And so we're just waiting now. The bus is supposed to leave from the center at 11 and arrive here at roughly 11:05. So we'll see if we get lucky and he doesn't blow by us.
I wanted to show you 3 points. Here is the first point on the map. I'm going to see if I can get into this intersection here on the street view. Perfect. So here's the clock tower. So if you're in Çanakkale, you should be familiar with the clock tower. It is just... sorry guys. Oh, that's perfect actually, because I wanted to show you guys the hotel. So it's the KULE hotel, and just underneath that you can see there is the Pamukklale office. And then this is that main roundabout that's just there in the center of town, and just there is the ferry port. So you should be able to locate that well enough. So let me zoom out and then I'll show you where the bus terminal is. So just out of town a bit is this big four-way intersection. Let's see here. So that second star that I have there is the bus terminal. And then that bus is going to leave that terminal and head along the E87 here. And this point here is where it's actually is going to pick us up. So this is where we are standing in the video currently, which was just across from this canning factory. And our Airbnb was just here in this neighborhood here. Sorry, it's so pixelated. The internet's not the greatest. But yeah, so it really worked out. Instead of having to go all the way back into town to catch the bus at the terminal there, it actually just came along the highway to us, and it was perfect.
All right, we got here a little early, and we were told it would arrive at 11:05. It has now passed 11:05. I never expected it to be here on time, but we're still waiting patiently. We did get seats 3 and 4, which should be the very front 2 seats, and we should have a decent view on our ride, hopefully. I'm a little anxious that somebody has sat in our seats, but if that's the case, hopefully we won't have any issue getting them to move, but still keeping an eye out. It should be here soon enough.
Alright guys, I've got my headphone mic here, and I hope it's not popping and clicking too much. I didn't want to have to speak too loudly, but I did want to let you guys know we did catch the bus. He arrived about 10 minutes after we were told they would arrive, which is more than reasonable, and roughly about when I thought they would show up. We were checked in very rapidly. We got our bags under the bus. The gentleman who helped us on was very polite and took our temperature. He checked our tickets, and actually now he's gone and given everybody a little juice. Full of togetherness, it says. So we're on our way now, and we did end up getting our seats. No one was in our seats, so it was registered very well with the salesperson, or with the sales office, because everyone's fairly spaced out on the bus. And as you can see, we've got the nice panoramic window here to see all the views as we go, and just out the window here's the sea. This is actually the same route that we took to go to Troy, so we're a little bit familiar with this route so far. But so far, oh, we got some snacks too. Take a share. Take a share. He just came back by and gave us some cookies as well, so that's very nice. But I'm going to just do my best to capture some footage as we go, and so far we're on our way and things are working out very well. So here's where we started, and we've basically moved along the E87 highway here to this point on the map that you'll see in a second, where we have basically just stopped the driver picked up another passenger, and I think they like had a smoke or something. But let me zoom out real quick and I will show you where our journey will take us to, which is all the way to Burhaniye. We've actually moved along the Strait of Dardanelles and not the sea there, but here's our endpoint. Nice little TVs here. I don't know if they'll play like some type of videos or something, but it was kind of nice actually. The guy, he just played a recording, and it was basically a recording stating if he needed anything to let the host of the bus know, and he played it in Turkish, but then he played it in English, which was very nice because we could see his little digital screen, so he had to choose English before he played it. So he recognized that we were English speaking, and then he played the information message in English to us, which I thought was rather nice. And we just had stopped at one stop. I think I've showed it there on the map to you guys. But we picked up another passenger, and the bus is all but empty. I think maybe total there's like 5 or 6 passengers on here. But beautiful countryside as we've gone along. I'll kind of show you out the window here real quick. There was a bit of forested area as we went along, and even these patches of farmland there must be in between seasonal crops, because the natural vegetation is kind of just grown in, and so everything's real green. But it's a very nice journey so far, very relaxed. The bus is very clean and very modern, and in fact he actually just brought this big shade down in the front. When the sun was real shady, it kind of, or bright, it kind of came down. It's starting to sprinkle a little, but pretty beautiful. Here's a little stream if I can catch it. I think little stream as we go along down over there. I've seen it kind of zip in and out of the countryside, but you can see how green everything is out there. It's really nice. Man, I can't help but see a similarity between this portion of our trip that we're on and bits of northern Arizona. It's almost identical, like one type of pine tree with little vegetation on the ground. It's pretty cool. The only difference is from this vantage point I can actually see a bit of the sea, and so you definitely don't get a sea view in Arizona. Let's see if we can see it here. Yeah, just there, kind of between the mountains. It's a bit fleeting, but kind of neat the way we've gone up in elevation. We came away from the sea, now we're heading back towards it because our rental is actually right next to the sea, so we should drop down in elevation and head back towards the coastline. It's a 2 hours and 45 minutes overall journey, and I think we're maybe roughly an hour and 15 minutes in, so we have about an hour and a half left on our journey. Freaking Turkish roadblock here. This guy's taking his sweet time on these turns and kind of has us stuck here. Goes an awesome view of the sea there. It looks like we're going to drop down in elevation and actually head down around that corner there in a second. So here's us dropping down here off of the higher elevations to end up along the sea here. So we're actually going to be coming up along the Aegean Sea, which is a branch of the Mediterranean. There we go. There's the sea. Just straight sea right there. No mountains or anything in the way. See the coastline down there. It's beautiful. And there it goes. Kind of neat how the scenery's changed as we've gone along. We've gone from farmland to the mountains with the trees, and then now we're coming back down to the sea and running into these little coastal towns I can see from here. It looks like we might go through one at some point. Very beautiful down there. Right next to the sea now. See, the water's all stirred up. You could see from those other shots when we were a little higher up that there was that like dark brown separation between the blue and in between the coast and the sea itself was rather like brown. It's kind of like the same thing that happens near our house in Spain after a storm. The sand gets real stirred up and it takes a few days to settle after the waves calm down, so you get that big brown line that kind of separates the clean blue water from the coast. You know, as I noticed as we've went along, there's certainly no shortage of these solar hot water heaters up on these people's roofs. I think that's a pretty common thing around here. Well, we just stopped here actually. I don't know if I can see anything going on back there, but the police have stopped us, and oh, he's coming on board. I better put my phone down. So I'm making the assumption that they were checking HES codes, or at least getting people's information in relation to travel, because the police officer, he turned to us and he spoke in Turkish to us, and once he realized that we didn't understand him, he just went on and then took everyone else's information. And it's kind of hit or miss whether or not you read whether or not you're supposed to have an HES code or not. We actually had one to buy the tickets to get on the bus, but he didn't even bother to try to collect any information from us. He didn't want to see our passports or anything. So I think it was in relation to that. And since he saw that we were foreigners, he just went about his business knowing that we aren't required to have the HES code and that we don't face restrictions in travel. So he didn't bother us at all. Well, we stopped here at another stop and we had to use the restroom real quick. Thankfully, the driver did as well. These mountains are really beautiful. Let me see if I can get up in here just where these two split. It's really neat. I think I just looked at a map and it was like roughly a little under an hour we had left on our trip. It's been really smooth, huh?
It's great.
Right?
Super great. The buses are so nice and clean.
Right,
And it's a smooth trip.
The driver and his assistant are super kind. Even
Yeah.
when we are in line for the bathroom, the driver's like, "Here, go first, go
Yeah.
first." Like just little things that are really nice. Make sure you bring a bunch of single Turkish lira. This bus stop restroom was 2 lira, which is pricier for the bathroom. But if you got coins and you gotta go, it's definitely worth it. There isn't any on the bus, obviously, but you know, bring yourself some water and a little bit of snacks. They did give us juice and some cookies, but we brought some bottled water and stuff as well. So this way you don't have to hold your bladder the whole time. But we're gonna hop back on the bus and get underway. So here's that point I just showed you where we stopped when we were outside the bus. That was that little town along the sea, and yeah, we're just around the corner from our end stop here, which is Burhaniye. I think, like I said, it was like 45 minutes left on our journey. Just across that body of water there is our house over in Spain. If you knew which direction you were looking, you could be looking towards Spain. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to go back to our house since March, when the Schengen border closed to the United States, but that's okay. We're just being patient, and that's why we're here in Turkey, really, is just waiting to be able to go back to our home. So it's nice to be back along this beautiful Mediterranean coast, and in fact, the further you get from Istanbul, the more relaxed the vibe is, the more kind the people seem to be. And I've had really low anxiety for the most part after we've left Istanbul, so I've been able to really enjoy myself. And you know, considering we can't go home, it's always nice to be in a place where you can feel relaxed and really enjoy your time. We're not really trying to do too much, but in consideration that we can't go back to our house, we just want to be somewhere where we're not spending a lot of money and we're just being patient, and somewhere we can feel relaxed and enjoy our time. So far, for a majority of this trip, that has been what we've been able to achieve. So, you know, it's good for us. We've stopped at another bus stop here, and I just wanted to get the name here of the bus that we're on. It's been a very enjoyable ride and a very nice company. Driver was yelling at the dogs. They were going inside the little business there, but I'll put a link, if I can remember, for this site that we initially tried to buy our tickets on. We weren't able to buy them online because it was asking us for an HES code. So we ended up walking to the city center. I think I'll probably have put that map in the beginning, so you may have seen where we got them from there in the center of Çanakkale. But we just went there and got them, and coincidentally we had just gotten an HES from the mall, so we were able to provide them with that. We went to this mall, and this woman was like, "Do you have your HS?" And we were like, we were told we don't need them. And she was like, "Yeah, everyone needs them." So they actually took our passports and they created one for us and then gave it to us.
And the only reason we stopped at that mall was to use the bathroom. Then we like immediately went to the Pamukklale, whatever this would be called, business center. And then the guy's like, do you have your HES? And we were like, oh, well, thankfully we just got one. So we ended up providing that to him, and then that's how we got the tickets. So it's kind of funny. We didn't get them online because it asked us for one. Then we like coincidentally got one on the way to buy them from the office itself. So it worked out. I don't know if you can bypass not having that. We ended up having one, so we just ended up using it anyway. But I'm not sure if it's an absolute necessity, but we ended up needing one. So there you go. There's that. So I actually just got around to turning the screen on, and I see that there's movies and internet and a way to plug your own USB in if you want to listen to your own headphones, I think. We're almost to our destination now, but I thought that was kind of cool. I finally thought, hey, I'll check this out real quick. Looks like you can call the assistant for a drink or something as well. Pretty neat. Check out these turbine blades. They're friggin' huge. There was actually a bunch of those on a ship that was near our last apartment. I could see them loading them onto the ship. They were friggin' massive. It's pretty cool. There's a ton of wind turbines around here. It's really neat that they're utilizing that, renewable type energy.
All right, guys, thanks for coming along on our journey. We have made it to the bus stop here, and there's a couple of cabs over here. We're gonna see if we can catch one to get us to our destination. We're a little bit away from it, a couple of kilometers, I think. But we weren't able to communicate as their closer stop, so we're just going to take the shuttle or the taxi from here. And thanks for coming along. I know I didn't get the greatest views, but you kind of get an idea of the journey, and I appreciate you guys watching. Stay safe and stay sane out there.